Hello, everybody. Amanda Davis here, and I am here to make a difference by teaching you what I know and sharing with you what I know. And this time, I'm going to say it first before I forget. PeriNewbies is a group on a group on Facebook of Periscopers that you can join for men or women for support on Periscope. Hi, Carla. Thank you for popping in. And the 100 Scope Challenge is something that we are doing in the PeriNewbies group, and we are on day 29 today. And the topic is if you were to bury a treasure, what would you bury? And so I put the little anchor emoji because when I think of buried treasures, I think of like pirate ships and that kind of thing. And the anchor thing was the closest that I could find for that. And then I put the box because obviously there's not a treasure chest emoji, although that would be cool. Or if there is, I didn't have it on my phone that I saw. But anyway, but my answer to this is rather than buried treasure, I really like the idea of a time capsule of some kind, whether it be something that you open up yourself in several years or something that you leave behind for the next generation and you never touch it, but you tell, somebody where it's buried so that the next generation gets to touch it. But I really like the idea of the time capsule because I think that that would be kind of cool if you had a nice, like a metal container, because you'd want it to be something that you were able to. Hi, Nina. Thank you for popping in. You'd want it to be something that you were able to, if they wanted to look at it in 50 years or 100 years or whatever, that it was still mostly intact. So I say metal container because I feel like metal is pretty heavy duty most of the time. And then just burying it in a good location. But I really like the idea of the time capsule and being able to put some things in the time capsule. Like I like the idea of putting like your current events, a newspaper that in 100 years probably will not even be a thing because I'm sure everything will be digital. A physical book, because who knows? Physical books might not be a thing in 100 years. Um, a DVD, because DVDs may be obsolete. Everything may be streaming. I mean, who knows? So I just think it'd be pretty cool to have some kind of, you know, time capsule kind of thing where you can put stuff like that so that people can go back to it in several years and see what's going on. Because I know even sometimes when you find, like, I found an old journal a while back and it was something that I wrote in an elementary school, and we were given some random topic like, where do you see yourself when you're 20 years old or something silly. I don't remember what it was, but something along those lines. And, just to read like what your I don't know, I was probably 8 or 9. What your 8 or 9 year old self says about where you want to be when you're 20. It was just funny. It was a laugh, and I was like, well, and none of that really happened. So, actually, I think, well, not when I was 20, but I think I might have said something about wanting to be a teacher, and so I am a teacher. So that really did happen. But other than that, the rest of it was just silly. Um, but it's nice to sometimes see stuff like that. And I know too, my seventh grade English teacher had us write something to our high school senior self. And then he still, even though he wasn't even teaching at that school anymore, he held on to it and he mailed it out to us. And it got to my parents' house because they still lived in the same place. And I was like, oh my gosh, I totally remember writing this now when I read it. But it was still just a nice gesture to get something like that, as part of your high school graduating class. And the fact that I was one of the lucky ones that got mine, because I'm sure some of my friends didn't because they moved. But it's kind of cool to be able to come across things like that when you're lucky enough to. So I like the idea of a time capsule. So instead of buried treasure, I would do some kind of time capsule, and I would like to do something that people could, kind of get just an idea of what went on in 2016, which crazy that it's 2016. But anyway, being that I was actually born before 2000 in 1989, to me, it's crazy that it's 2016. But yeah, so anyway, but that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye for this one. Thank you, Nina, for staying and for all the hearts. And thank you to everybody for watching replay live, Twitter, web viewers. I do appreciate it. Remember, if you're on the replay, that you can still tweet this out if you thought it was funny or found value or whatever. As well as you can still tap, tap, tap to give hearts. And you can also follow if you're not following, because I am working on trying to get to 1,000 followers. And PeriNewbies.com, again, is a group of people, men and women, supporting each other on Periscope. So you can join whether you're a man or a woman. Just don't be a troll and join, please, because we don't need any trolls. We want serious people. PeriNewbies.com. And then the 100 Scope Challenge is something that we're doing. And we're on day 29, like I said. So that's exciting that we're already on day 29. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this around for the thumbnail before I forget. And just say thank you one more time. I do appreciate it. And I will see everybody later. Bye, guys. Have a great night.